Chewbacca and C3P0. Encountering a stormtrooper in Cloud City, C3PO was blasted at point blank range and his limbs were scattered everywhere. Chewbacca gathered the parts of the protocol droid and practically reassembled him. Hello, welcome back to Centurion's Corner, and today we are reviewing C3PO and Chewbacca from The Empire Strikes Back. And this is a double pack, obviously, which is exclusive from Amazon. And actually, this is one of the ones I've been really excited about and couldn't wait for. When I noticed this was coming out, I thought, brilliant, great. I did think his face looks a little bit odd in the photos, so it'd be quite interesting to see as the review goes on, to see what he really looks like. And actually, this is my first Black Series C3PO that I'll be getting. I kind of really wanted to get the Bandai kit first, but that's going to be a little bit further down the line, unfortunately. I have got the 40th anniversary C3PO still to review, so then I will do a comparison between this one and that one, just to see how far things have got. And also I've got the one from Force Awakens with Baba Freak as well, so maybe we'll have a week of C3POs if I'm feeling up for it. But nevertheless, we got this one now. So yeah, as I said, it was an Amazon exclusive. I got it from America. And it actually went down $10 to about $34.99. So I thought, why not? Because by the time I added the costing to the price, it actually probably retailed about the price that this will come out for about $44.99. And that's how much I paid. So yeah, it's a bit of a win-win, and I got it early as well. So I don't think it's out yet in the Amazon in the UK. Could be wrong. I haven't been on there for a couple of days or a couple of weeks, shall we say. But you know, this might pursue you if you fancy getting it when it does come out in the UK. So here it is, just a kind of standard Black Series box, but a little bit elonged. And on the front we got a sort of Chewbacca, and we've got C3PO, and actually the hair on the Chewbacca there, it's actually got the comb back rather than got the kind of centered quiff that we get onto the actual figure itself. On the side, no number, obviously, as it's the exclusive. This side here we just got Chewbacca and C3PO, and they just put Chewbacca just in the black there. And on the back we got his bio and the picture enlarged as well. So without further ado, let's just crack these two bad boys open. Okay, so here they are in their blister pack. C3PO sort of sits kind of in there, but he's a bit top heavy and he's falling out. But yeah, I mean, it all looks pretty cool. I mean, I kind of would do a first impressions, but I would take Chewbacca out and we can have a look at C3PO's kind of like torso. And then what I'll do, I'll take them away for a few photos, do a few little displays and do some comparison shots as well with the other Chewbacca that I've got, which is the solo one. But again, I have got the 40th anniversary Star Wars The New Hope Chewbacca, so further down the line I'll do a comparison between these two as well. And yeah, just go from there. So here's Chewie. Just get him into focus for you. And yeah, I suppose the face doesn't look too bad. Yeah, actually, looking at it on camera, it looks alright, but actually in the flesh, it does look a lot better. His eyes are a little bit sort of off-centered, I suppose, but I kind of like the detailing around the mouth and down there. Yeah, actually, it looks a lot better than I kind of anticipated. And as for C3PO, well, he's got all his little wires and everything sticking out, but yeah, it looks pretty cool as well. And the gold's not too bad. You know, I would like a really chromy kind of sort of C3PO, but obviously this one's been beaten up and chucked with the Ugnaughts and stuff and on a conveyor belt before Chewbacca picks him up. So yeah, so I'm going to take some photos and I'll see you in a moment. So welcome back. I've been away, taken a few photos and ran Chewbacca and C3P0 for their paces, and yeah, actually these two are pretty cool. I was going to think that C3PO is going to be a bit fiddly, and the net was going to be a bit fiddly, as I've heard a few horror stories. And yeah, and the Chewbacca, you know, he's pretty cool. He's quite nice and sturdy, so he doesn't really get top heavy. Unless you're not extravagant with the poses and stuff like that, then he's actually fine just holding C3PO in his backpack. So what we do, we go through C3PO first, as he's in his backpack. It comes with the most accessories, and then we look at Chewbacca and go through his sort of posability and everything like that, and then just have a look at as a whole. So while they're all together, we can just give them a little bit of a spin. So he's kind of there in his backpack and the net part here. So I guess there's a lot of accessories really to go about. And when I got the net out, it was kind of weird because there's got kind of like 3 different holes, which I'll show you off once I get C3PO out. So as we go then, here's C3PO. We can grab out his leg, his other leg. Actually, the only thing about this netted thing as well, because everything's very holy, everything kind of gets sort of tangled inside it. So part of his accessories are falling off. And get his last hand out. Right, so we'll put him over there, and then we just look at C3PO as a whole. Well, or in bits, shall we say. So, okay, so starting off with his accessories. He comes with these sort of extra little nub bits, which look like these. We've got the wire and everything all inside. It's all painted very nicely, and it's made of kind of like a sort of soft vinyl, but obviously as the more it gets thicker, it is thicker, but it's all kind of sort of a bit rubbery, a bit bendable. So he's already got one in this arm, and the other arm it's just kind of like a peg part. So what you got to do is just pop it out, and it plugs just nicely inside there. It's not hard to push in, it's just there. So you can have him as sort of like a half torso, or you can even use it as when Luke finds him in A New Hope when he's lost his arm. But that just simply pops out, and then we got the other arm, and we can just pop that just into that hole just there. His other accessories, which are for his legs. So these parts don't get removed. What we do, we just plug these bits over the top of it, and you've got like this sort of V part that's cut out on the inside, and that just fits up just in the middle, so they can shoot right up his leg. So it covers most of the actual silver or gold, shall we say. And yeah, it covers the pegs just nicely, and they go right up there into his legs. So it looks like his legs are missing or pulled out. And then we just simply pull these sort of rubbery kind of bits off, and again they're all painted nicely. The wires going through, no colour bleeds or anything. I kind of like that red one as well, where it goes through and looks like it pops out from the underneath. And then we've got this one. Again, the wires and all those parts looking good. And then simply we just got his other legs that we can just pop on. So we've got the silver shin. I found these bits a little bit more harder to pop on with his legs, because they're just a little bit stiffer than the sort of the rubbery parts up there. So it actually feels like you're really kind of sort of customising a figure. You're trying to push them on. So that's done. And then we've got this one as well. Okay. Don't really get a satisfying click all the time, so which is a bit annoying. And I've had a bit of a problem with this left leg. It just seems to not want to go in. Don't know whether I need to like heat it up a little bit to expand the hole just a tiny bit. But yeah, I mean, here's C3PO. You know, looking pretty cool. Just it's my first Black Series C3PO. Hallelujah! I have one for the collection, and he's looking pretty cool. And with that, we'll go through his articulation and everything that he's got here. So yeah, so his head's on a rotation. Got a little bit of a look down and a look up. We've got a shoulder sort of like swivel, and we've got the shoulder bit in there. got this part here is on a hinge, and then we've got just below the shoulder kind of swivel here. We've got a little bit of a sort of like a bend at the elbow, but not much. And we've got that kind of sort of like inner groove like Forlum had, but really there's not a lot of range on there at all. And it just won't give them. As soon as you start doing that, this bit in the middle here starts going a little bit white, unfortunately. So we've got a sort of wrist rotation, and it's also on a hinge, which is lovely. And his ab crunch, you can look down this far, and you can look back that far, and you kind of get that sort of like C3PO-esque from him, you know, quite easily really. And then at the legs, can't really spread out that far. Up here inside there, we have got that swivel on that joint, and then down here we've got a kind of a knee bend, but obviously not that much. And we've got the ankle and a swivel and a pivot. So to be honest, as a C3PO, you kind of get the articulation that you kind of sort of expected really, because obviously he doesn't really do anything in the film. He's always sort of standing there with his bowed arms, I suppose. But yeah, he's looking pretty cool. So it'd be nice to comparison compared to the 40th anniversary one, because I know that his elbows and all that don't bend, so I wonder if they sort of changed his size and stuff as well, his body shape. But yeah, looking at him, I mean, there we go. We've got the face is pretty much spot on really. Around to the side there, down to the back. There's not much sort of dirt in really on him, apart from the front. There's a bit of a splatter there. Maybe a little bit more of a black wash would have been ideal for it, you know, bearing in mind he's been down in the pits. But yeah, so we got all the details on his springs, down to his hands, looking pretty nice, and also the inside as well. No colour bleed on his palms, which is definitely a bonus. And then on his buttocks, we go down to his silver parts there. And just, yeah, looking very C3PO-esque. And I don't know how I'm going to display him, whether I keep him as a C3PO or put him in the backpack with Chewbacca. So going over to Chewbacca, and still looking pretty sort of tall, pretty meaningful. And we'll start with his blaster first, because I think his backpack's going to be a bit more an accessory sort of thing. But yeah, it's just a standard E11 blaster, same as all the rest. And we've got the little silver sort of part in there, which is pretty cool. And to bear in mind, Chewbacca's hands are a lot bigger than most. It does fit nicely, and his trigger does actually fit onto the actual trigger guard as well. So yeah, that's good. So putting that aside, and then we can look at this neck. So we just pull it off, got it tucked around underneath his sort of like fur bib, I suppose. So getting it out of the box, it's kind of like on this sort of pulley system here that sort of just sort of flies around on this bit of elastic. So there's a hole here, there's a hole here, and there's a hole here. So there's like 3 holes in this here. So I thought he kind of wears it as a backpack. You know, maybe bring these down, put his arms through it and that around, which is a bit similar to the old Kenner one, you know, because that's the way he kind of had it at the backpack. But I did look down in the box, because sometimes these do come with instructions, and lo and behold, we have got a Chewbacca and C3PO instruction booklet inside the box, and it just shows you how to assemble C3PO and how to chuck him in there. Unfortunately, it doesn't really come with a good part here of how to display C3PO in the backpack, because he's got it sideways there, which is nowhere going to fit. But I just kind of copied that pattern and laid it back to back on Chewbacca, and I wasn't too sure if this goes down underneath the other arm or whether it just went around his neck. So I tried both, and it actually just fits better if you just pull that first bit out like they have here, and then just put that around his neck, just underneath the bib. So technically he kind of wears it like this, but you just tuck it under, and it works. There's no pull or drag, and it's not going to fall off his arm or anything like that, as when you do it on a sort of off the shoulder. So you just put that underneath there, and then just fill up the backpack with C3PO parts, and then all the holes there if you want to put the legs sticking out or his arms sticking out or whatnot. So it does actually work pretty neat. And that's it for his accessories really. I mean, we can go for his articulation, which to be honest isn't that great being a Chewbacca. So his head doesn't really swivel. You haven't really got any kind of movement there at all in the head. We've got his arms, so we've got the shoulder, we've got it on a swivel, and then also we've got a shoulder bend, elbow bend shall we say, and it doesn't come up 90 degrees either, due to the lack of the fur, well, too much fur shall we say. We've got the swivel, and it's kind of like a little pivot there, but again, because of the fur there's not much sort of movement. We've got the swivel on the ab, which again is not that much, you can't go all the way around, and we've got a little bit sort of up and down, but again not that much. And his legs, they can come out this far. We've got an upper thigh sort of rotation. We've got a little joint at the knee, which is not a double, again because of the fur, and his feet don't really bend too much either. So unfortunately both of these are really hindered in their articulation. But again, Chewbacca doesn't really run, he kind of sort of plods along. As long as you get him in a gun sort of welding pose, you've got a Chewbacca looking like a Chewbacca. And C3PO, it's just a guy in a metal suit that can't hardly move. So, you know, they replicated him really well. But with Chewbacca himself, yeah, he's pretty cool. And he's pretty great. And looking at his kind of sort of sculpt on there, I suppose. So his face, again, as we looked before, you know, we get a little bit more of a deeper look here. And yeah, his face, you know, it does look a little bit sort of strange looking, but it does grow on me. And yeah, it does look pretty cool. We have got the hair sort of sweeping over when he gets a little bit messy and a little bit flustered in the movie after Han Solo's kind of been put into carbonate. But yeah, no, it's all right. So we've got all the fur, it's all sort of swiveling down, and we've got that kind of nice sort of like darker brown sort of grey blend there that blends down into his shoulders. And then we've got his sort of like bandolier that goes down to his nice leather handbag. We've got his metal clips and stuff on there, so and it fits him just nice, and it just sort of fits snugly around that leg as well, so it's not protruding out too much. But as all normal Chewbaccas, it's just kind of like a vinyl kind of sort of like fur that's just placed all over him. The sculpt on there is done really nice, and it goes down to his little feet, and then we've got his little tootsies with his 5 toes. So he's all looking pretty fine and pretty dandy. So there's these two compared to each other. And yeah, I mean, that's all I've got to say really. I mean, I'd highly recommend this sort of this duo. I imagine it's going to be about $44.99 when it comes out in the UK. Just judging by that's how much Amazon's sort of exclusives normally go for. But yeah, I mean, you can't really go wrong with these two. I mean, it's an iconic kind of sort of scene with this C3PO, and especially being sort of like, if you're sort of in your 30s or in your 40s, it brings back that Kenner kind of sort of backpack kind of sort of dismemberable kind of C3PO. The only thing I'm a little bit sad of is that C3PO's head isn't removable. It is on a sort of like, you could remove it if you wanted to, put it under hot tap and whatever, but as a toy, it's not actually designed to be removed, which I think is a shame, because, you know, Chewbacca did have a little go of it before putting his head back to front. But you can spin him all around if you wanted to. So, guys, I highly recommend these two to put them on your shelf, especially if you're an avid kind of sort of like original trilogy fan. I love Chewbacca, he's my favourite character, and I've always got a bit of a soft spot for C3PO as well, because he took us on a journey through the original trilogies. So, guys, go out and buy these ones. If you enjoyed this video, sorry it's been a little bit of a time between each video, but you know, such is life. And yeah, just subscribe down the bottom, comment away if you're going to get these, or if you prefer another Chewbacca or C3PO, and I'll see you next time. Bye!